I'm getting,
Okay, I'll see if I can sit by the,
You can turn it off.
oh, that's probably what it is. Hold on, let me try a couple things, Mary Ann, thank you for letting me know.
okay, yeah, it's just a little garbled. I'm getting maybe only half of the words. So I'm not
Okay.
sure if it sounds like, you're in a cave.
Does it seem any better now at all?
I think so. Yeah, let's try it.
You holler if it doesn't, and I'll move to a different spot. We'll try
Okay, it's sounding better. Let's see how it goes.
I think it was I had the air conditioner on because it was pretty hot in here, so that's probably why it changed.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still fighting with DOT for Pond Circle. I have the call into the chief, he was on vacation, I reached out again soon. We were trying to brainstorm on how to increase participation at the poker run. New sign and the sandwich sign, post on social media, stickers on the gates advertising. Excuse me. And pictures of the event. Matt and Mark thank Ken and Ron for all the work they've done and continue to do on Mike's property. We adjourned that meeting at 8:03. Is there any questions on the previous meeting minutes? On the secretary report? If there's not, I would love to take a motion to accept it as read. So moved. Second. Perfect. Got that, all in favor is close enough. Treasurer's report, this is gonna be a fun one.
Hey.
So this is from July 7th to the present, so it's gonna.
Quick, okay,
Yes.
this is there's,
Oh, sorry.
she didn't tell me who's all in there, so I can write it down too.
I'll have to find out.
I know him
It just says
and
that.
Mary Ann and.
So Mary Ann, Paul. And iPhone, which I'm not sure who it is yet.
Okay.
Can somebody tell me who the iPhone is?
That is Special K.
Gotcha. I just couldn't tell. Thank you, Ken.
I gotta change it to my name, sorry.
No, you're fine, not a problem. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't somebody really weird, not just kind of weird. So we're on treasury report, and the balance as of July 7th was 12,385.32. Of that, we have bills of Bradford Mini Mart, can't talk today, of 8101. 6165 at the rallies for the Kubota, the rear lights the rubber lights fell off and 2 pins either bent or broke, I can't remember on them. August 2nd, $12 is the website. August 12th, 4501 for the TYM tractor diesel fuel. August 13th, we sent a check to All States Construction for $5,098.50. That's calcium for dust control. August 19th, 1389. Actually went to Jody until she paid her credit card. So it went back to her via Venmo and those are poker run flyers. Printed copies and more. August 22nd. $60 to Sticker Mule, which is an online, printing place for road signs. It was the least expensive. 9/3 was $12 for the website. That's a monthly bill. 9/3 again, 116.56, which is motor parts. Purchase of grease and a grease gun for the Kubota itself. Went through, basically greased everything. Some pieces needed to be grease fittings and things had to come apart, but. And then $1.90 to Tractor Supply for some more hairpins that they just been. 1397 to Walmart for screws for the signs. 2726 is a Tractor Supply, it says oil, but it's actually a belt because I messed up what I was looking at. And then the next day, 2437 for another belt, there'll be a credit for the oil that a little further down. 1911, another Venmo for repayment for the Poker Run punch cards, printed copies and more. On September 9th, I withdrew $5,000 in cash in anticipation of purchasing a side-by-side. We'll talk about that after. 9/13/40/97 for TYM backhoe pins and clips. And then there is a bill that is 5998.50, which says GIA take back, and I will explain that one at the same time here in just a minute. So our total bills are $17,526.70. Deposits on 8/7, $225 from Nova. August 9th, $145.60 for grading, GIA. 9/3 was a donation from Chief Crushing for $7,619.95. 9/5 as a deposit of $40 for Nova, that's also membership. 9/9 is $5,998.50 reimbursement for calcium off of GIA. And then 9/9 is $5,000 put back in the bank for the, what I will call as the side-by-side fail. And then 9/9 is a credit from Tractor Supply for the wrong bill. 9/12, there is a duplicate $59.98.50, which is why they took it back up in the bills. Don't know how it happened, but state paid us twice for the $6,000. 9/17, Cross New Hampshire ATV Trail, made a donation of $10,000 to the club. 9/17, also, there's a donation from the Connecticut Valley Snowmobile Club to use towards part of the cost of Augie's roof. The deposit total is $35,551.92, giving us an end balance of $30,410.54. Any questions?
Why cheap?
What's that?
Why did cheap that make the nation?
It was more of a rebate than a donation. I just have to list it as a donation. So there were some credits and stuff like that where that multiple accounts that we have with them, they just put it all into one and send us back a credit. Which was, I mean, it's some of that's been there for multiple years. So we cleaned it up to zero and we started over.
Good.
So. Any other questions? I would take a motion to accept it as,
There's no motion, you don't have to do that.
oh, yeah, no motion, thank you. Like I say, if anybody wants to see bank accounts or any of that's here, no problem at all. So treasury report is all set. Trail master report, I'm gonna wing it. We basically haven't been out onto that because of so much rain. We haven't tapped it for now. We also don't really want to put down any calcium chloride into that trail because the poor snowmobilers won't have anything to snowmobile on this one. We do need to get out and trim around some signs and gates and that type of stuff. Other than that, it seems to be all right. We haven't had any down trees or anything like that. Ken, were you involved with Max's? Were you involved with Max's over there for the culvert? You were, correct?
Yes, I was. I helped him out with the culvert. We put all the gravel in on that beginning part.
Yep, so Max Smolten's property, we built a ramp to come out onto French Pond Road.
Correct.
We also added a culvert in there, or sorry, not added, we replaced a culvert in that area. And then we surfaced that with some hardback, but you got more to do, I think.
I think that little section's done for right now.
Okay, and we gotta move across the street and do the other culvert off of the upper pond circle.
Yep, they're gonna work on that. I think they went and got a load of stone for that. I will catch up to them on that one.
Okay, yep, so that's, like I say, that's no problem at all. Whatever they're needing for material, there's enough there, so. But yeah, so. Ken and Ron and Chuck Decato all worked on that project over there. It's an ongoing project for Molten Mountain. And then, so hopefully that'll get better signage and better access from Morse Road and Tewksbury Road at some point.
Yep,
Unless we-
or,
unless we-
yeah.
Or over the opposite side, whichever we can figure out.
yep. And next year, I mean, maybe a little bit before closing season, but definitely early next year, I plan on definitely putting a crew together and widening up these trails just a little bit.
Very good. So I went to, who was the gentleman that went to the Bath meeting with me, Ron, Ken, excuse me.
Did you get a hold of Greg?
I didn't, somebody that you had spoken to showed up with me.
Oh,
But anyway,
I
I
don't,
couldn't catch his name. But we went to the Bath Select Board. We actually waited, we were actually last in line for stuff to talk about. They asked me to get him a bunch of information. The DOT has approved it for where it is. Bureau of Trails has to jump, we have to jump through Bureau of Trails hoops. We have to get a town hearing again, we have to do the abutters part of it, but only for 112, that section of French Pond. They said is open. You know, they would open it, no problem at all, so that is open. It's just the 112 section that we have to get through.
Yeah.
So.
was there any other discussion on Goose Lane or anything else?
They didn't want to, they didn't want to entertain anything on that until we got through the 112. And then we could go back through. They did bring it up at their town meeting at that particular time and they voted it down. So, here's what it is. What else am I missing?
On the town of Haverhill again?
That we're gonna have to spearhead that at some point and try again. So it's all time. But, so we'll move on to old business. Old business, the GIA has been signed. We've been getting reimbursement from things, working on other stuff. The poker run, we've done a little bit more advertising, flyers, punch cards, or punch cards aren't advertising, but punch cards, roadside signs. We're gonna put an ad in the paper this coming week, and the big sandwich sign is coming out of Snowmobile Club's shed. Gonna change the date on it, and that'll be out sometime this week. We have a small sign in there, but at the pavilion, but we're gonna move that to a different spot as soon as we get that out.
I did see a sign on the way to Littleton Dump, right
Yep,
at the trailhead there.
yep, those are the smaller signs that we got. We figured we could lay those in a bunch of different spots. We're still hunting for the side by side. What we're really looking for is a 4-seater, only because makes more sense if somebody wants to do. Put a work party together, you can take somebody that doesn't have a machine, you can put somebody in it. And like I say, and then if somebody new wants to go look at a trail and doesn't have a machine, that's four-seater is a better answer, I believe. So I'll talk a little bit about the side-by-side fail. We had, we, meaning Matthew and I, had decided that we were gonna go look at one, and we're probably gonna buy it. I talked to the gentleman on a Sunday and told us to give him a text message at lunch. I got busy at lunch. I sent him a text message at 4 o'clock to see if it was all right to come at 6, and it already sold. So I was sitting in Walmart parking lot with the cash in my hand, put it back in the bank. So that's where we're at there. It's not a hurry to buy one. The money's kind of earmarked for it, but we're trying to find something that's more local than the Alfred, Maine one that we looked at. And then there was one, I don't remember, but it was a 6-hour one-way ride. And I said, no, somewhere in Maine. There's gotta be one here somewhere. in
Bangor.
It's probably, well, it was above Bangor, long above Bangor. Like, no, so. But anyway, that's where we're at on that one. So we'll look at new business.
What about the roof?
Oh, I missed the roof, I skipped it. The roof is on their schedule as to get to it. We're just waiting on them, so,
We don't know when.
no. I told them they could not do it October 5th. And if they're gonna do it before, it had to be done. So, you know what I mean, I don't want it all ripped apart and then have them come back on Monday to fix it in the middle of the poker run.
Mhm.
That's the only bad part about that, but. But that's the update, just kind of waiting. So Lisbon's trunk or treat is October 31st. The club will be looking at candy donation to soften the money spending for the candy. Also plan on doing a coloring contest for different age groups and then do prizes for the best of each group. If somebody wants to help pass out candy, let us know. It is October 31st at the Lisbon Community Field. Jody and I will be there anyway, but if you'd like to come on out. The rail bed surfacing has been kind of put towards the back burner only because of flooding and other things outside of the ATV club. It may wind up getting pushed till spring. The only reason I say that is Chief has still got 3 places that are not on, as you know. And a lot of washouts and flooding. Again, I talked to Old Business a little bit for the town of Bath, but town of Bath, like I say, they seemed to be much more receptive, and they did reopen that section of French Pond in Bath. So hopefully they'll open that little road there up for Swiftwater. The money donations and rebates. So the rebates, I talked a little bit on the cheap one. The chief, like I say, it was just a bunch of credits that were stuck in there. Like I say, we decided that instead of in their pocketbook, it would be better in the clubs. Only because most of what comes out of there is grant aid and we get reimbursed for it that way. So sometimes you wouldn't never burn it up. So that's why we went that way. They offer, so. Cleaned it up and then across New Hampshire Adventure Trail, which is Marianne. They donated 10,000. They had said originally that they would donate 5,000, which is what they have been accustomed to. And that She upped the donation this year to 10,000. Part of that is to help pay for some of the grading that's gonna be done with that. And while we're there, the grading is gonna be, or not grading, but the surfacing is gonna be behind the mill houses here on Bleecker Drive, we lived in. And then we're gonna start from basically the covered bridge to the iron trestle. And then if we have anything else extra, we'll figure out where to put it. But I believe, if I remember, it's just under $100,000.
Good. I just want to throw in, that section there, right after the gate. Once you go past the covered bridge and you go through the gate, that section there is always kind of wet and messy. I'm just wondering if, when you do the grading, do you have a plan to try to, I don't know, ditch that or raise it up or something? I don't know if there's a spring there or something, but even the other day I was out there and even with this dry weather, it was kind of wet in there.
There's a spring that comes off the bank right there, and my thought is if I can get it in there, there may be it won't be a large culvert, but maybe dig a spot, put a small piece of culvert in there so it gets rid of that water. And then dump it out the other side.
Mhm. Okay, good.
They'll have, pretty sure they'll have plenty of equipment in there to do that. And again, we thank you very much, Mary Ann, you and the Cross New Hampshire Adventure Trail.
Well, you're very welcome. I thank you for all the work you're doing to make this trail better. I was just out there with a group of people just 2 days ago. And again, the new surface is really nice. And it passed its 2-year anniversary on August 30th when we did our experiment right behind the DCI and then a couple pieces further up by River Road. And they look like the day they went down. There's no potholes, there's no washboard, nothing. It's amazing how well it works. So, so that's why I really am very glad that the Cross New Hampshire can put, a little extra money in and, to use it for the grading or more surface material or whatever, because it really matters to us. It's been a big boost for our, for bikers and walkers for sure.
Perfect. We like that. I'm sure the horse people would like that too, because it's hard, but it's not hard, if you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, and the no dust part is really good.
Right. Are they using any of that in the residential area? Do you know?
No, no, we're not. We're doing a surface, a trail restoration project. It's ditching, grading, and crowning. And they're out there over the last week or two, and they'll probably be out there for another 2 weeks. We're doing 6.4 miles, restoring all that because the trail was becoming the ditch. And there's a lot more slope to it than what we have here on the Ammonoosuc. So, so the water really wrecked the trail. So they're putting it all back, the ditching, but the material that's there, it's more dirt, like a hard dirt. And they're packing it down and it's working really well. So we don't need to put any surface down. There's no dust associated with it. And, so it's really looking good right now.
Very good. Glad to hear that. It's always good to be able to use what's there.
Right. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, because I know how much money it's costing to do our projects, and not to have to do it on the presidential is really good. There might be a couple places where, again, it's just a spring or, right up against the bridges. They've put a little bit of surface material in, but it's a few, it's a few square yards, not square miles.
Yeah, instead of 3.5 miles of.
Yeah.
So, well, I think there's 3 miles, 3.5 miles, but very good. Like I said, I'm glad that's working well for you up there. So.
Yeah, that's going well. So yeah, I look forward to when Chief can, get in there. And I have another surfacing project in Littleton, and I can't get that done either because, the roads and the driveways and parking lots are pretty important to fix first. So, patience is tough, but we'll get it.
So the good part is if we push this to spring, as soon as the gates are closed to the snowmobiles. That's usually sometimes in March, I think. Soon as that's all set, and then as long as we don't have a road ban, that's an easy spot to put it down.
Great.
So, but yeah, like I say, I hope I don't have to go to spring, but if we do, we do.
Yeah, well, it depends on the weather and depends on their business, so.
Right.
We can hope, but maybe even, October, November or something if it's not bad. I remember at one point, I think it might have been you guys who said that it's not a bad idea to put the stuff down and then have the snow go down on it and the snowmobile groomers
Yeah.
to pack it in there. So it
Well,
wouldn't be, horrible to do it in November
Yep,
if they can. So, okay, great.
All right.
Hey guys, I've got a quick question if you don't mind. This is Paul, new member and
Hey, Paul.
new to ATVing in terms of the like memberships and clubs, but I've got a side by side ridden dirt bikes, ATVs, etc. I'm primarily involved in snowmobile. I'm part of the Waterford Ridge Runners up in Waterford, Vermont. I'm actually curious what the surfaces you guys are talking about. Is it just is it asphalt? Is it like a
No, it's actually, it's technically 5/8 hardback, but it has limestone to it.
okay? All right, yeah, we're building trails right now in Waterford. We're trying to do a lot of restoration from the flooding that we had, and we're trying to pass right now in town a ATV ordinance to allow us to ride ATVs on the roads. So we're trying to open some of the class 4 roads back up to that. So I was just thinking if you guys had a product that worked really well, I'd be interested in seeing that. So 5/8 hardpack with limestone. I'll check it out. Thanks.
So if you are down this way, we don't have anything really north of, very far north of, what's that? It's Lisbon, it's a little bit north of Lisbon Crossing, but. So basically, if you drove down here to Lisbon area.
Mhm.
The Lisbon crossing and what we call a straight line. That has a lot of, it's literally 5/8, they call it 5/8 ledge pack or hard pack. That has a lot of it in it, you can see it. And then underneath the Bath covered bridge, there's a lot in there that you can look at.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks. I'm actually down in Massachusetts, so I drive right by you guys twice a week.
Yep.
So I'll stop in.
It's gonna be, so basically nothing north of Lisbon has been touched yet with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I assume you're getting that from Pike Industries.
No, it comes from Chief Crushing in Mays and Breggy, I believe, but.
Okay.
The pit it comes out of is actually Wall River, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nice material. It's a light color. It's kind of a light blue gray. So I think that might help with keeping the snow a little bit longer rather than the black, cinder material that's part of the rail bed. So, because it's working so well, there's no, ice puddles that I think, the snowmobiles probably would appreciate not having ice and frozen puddles on the trail. This drains out really well. So I would think that, if you talk to Chief, maybe you can use it on your roads and it will hold up quite well.
That's like
We'll give it a
concrete.
shot.
So.
Yeah,
We
we've
use 5/8, we use 5/8 only because it's nicer for the pedal bikes. But you can, if you don't have someone that's on a pedal bike, you could go to like 1.5 inches. You would use obviously the same amount, but it covers better. The 5/8 just, it literally packs together almost like concrete.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're using a lot of 3/8 ledge pack coming out of Pike. And it's pretty similar. It's got a lot of fines in it. So once you roll it, it holds up pretty well. Looks like concrete if you drive on it enough, but it'll get soft in the spring like anything else.
Well, yeah, so ours with the limestone, even though it does get wet, you really don't fall into it. It stays pretty well. So,
Yeah. We'll
You
check
said-
it out.
You said 3/8?
We're using primarily 3/4 because we can get it cheaper.
Yeah. 5/8.
We're on a budget. You guys have a lot more donations than we can.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
think,
You guys are
um, Yeah, Chief said it was the 5/8 and he added some 3/8 to it and a lot of fines.
Yeah,
He kind of made a special mix for us.
it's good to know. Yeah, I'll give them a call and ask them what their recipe is. If we can't get it trucked up to us, and maybe Pike will be willing to make it for us.
Right, yep. I think that Pike might call that like 3/4 hard pack, but dense grade, 3/4 dense grade. Cause
Oh.
they'll have sand mixed in with it. I used to work for Pike Industries at the.
Okay, yeah. That's
But-
that's what I made my mile-long driveway out of, that 3/4 dense grade base material.
Yeah.
So that's the cheapest stuff we can get there. So that's what I used.
Yep, works fine.
Yep.
Any
Thanks,
other?
guys.
Yeah,
I will say before we go, obviously, there is a poker run on October 5th. Mountain Ride.
Where the station's gonna be for that? Any idea yet, or?
I don't know, same. I think we're gonna change
Two of them.
two of them this time.
Cause I'll be leaving from Littleton Inn.
Yeah, so the
If you-
Littleton Inn, we're gonna have, just like all the other times, we're gonna have the bucket with the punch cards for people coming that
On the
way
Wilton end, it'll be
Yep.
different.
and stuff.
Yep.
So,
Or actually, that one I can answer for you. That one's gonna be up at Burnley, but not in.
Okay,
It's it's the start of Hammerlin. You can go in if you want, you don't have to, but we wanna make sure that you can see it.
yeah, we rode Hamlin a bunch for us a little while ago, and it was really bad shape. One guy rolled his machine over, but it's,
Actually, I didn't talk about that, but, GPS, sorry, answer her.
okay, so instead of the first stop being at the very top, like we usually do, the first stop's gonna be at the pull off, what is that? It's,
Yep.
Briar Hill Road, there's a little pull off and it says Kinder Forest.
Kinder Forest.
You can pull
That's all.
into there and get out of the way. That would be the first stop.
That's on Hammerlin,
Then
not
stop
mine.
2,
That's your line.
yeah, stop 2, Shaw's Trail Entrance. Stop 3, under the Bath Bridge, like normal. Then we have the loops. And
Okay.
then we're gonna put a bucket, at the, you gotta go up like you're gonna go to Hammerland, but don't go
Yep.
in there, you just, the very bottom.
You can if you want.
Yeah, if you want to, but that's not required. We thought we'd get people if they're just select so that they know where it is.
so how, I mean, people start from Littleton, how do they know to go up to Hamlin to get the first ticket?
That's the only. So you'll probably wind up with not a bucket. You'll probably wind up with a bucket at Hammer.
Yeah.
That's not a stop, just a bucket.
Okay,
Yeah, there's,
And
and then we
Okay.
usually do like the little papers
yeah,
too, to make it a little bit more clear, cause on the cards there, they kind of tell you stop 1 on the, but,
okay.
yeah. So, but yeah,
So-
we usually do.
So we'll make sure that it gets there,
Yeah,
so. While I'm talking about Hammerland, Eric from GPS Trailmasters, I reached out to him a couple weeks ago. He's got what he thinks is Hammerland Trails GPS, that's in GPS Trailmasters. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah.
So what he did was I talked to him a little bit about it. We went on a loop in Hammerland that's easy to distinguish because it actually has signs on that part of it.
Mhm.
Anything in the middle doesn't. So he mapped everything that he could see on the inside of that loop. But if it's wrong, you're still on Eric's property.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at. So that should be in this update. Coming the end of this week. That's all I had. Anybody else have any questions?
Would you like me to give you, Mrs. Neer's telephone number? Maybe you can contact her about signing the, I forgot what it's called. Permission slip.
Yeah, if you don't mind, then we'll get that taken care of. So,
I haven't reached out to her yet, but she was supposed to get a hold of me about a week ago. I've just been busy, but I'll reach out to her.
that's off of Max's property.
Yeah, it is, and there's 3 property owners out there, and they're all okay with the ATVs going across.
Right? We just need to get them, make sure they got the insurance part of it, so. Gotta make sure we get them that free insurance, that's all.
Yep, understood.
Very good. We got nothing else, I was taking motion to adjourn. Move it. Adjourn at 7:41. Thanks.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks for stopping in. If you have any questions, just give us a holler. We're on Facebook, we're everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll see if I can stop in for the next meeting, introduce myself.
Very good.
All right. Thanks. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Night, Mary Ann, thank you.
Thank you. man.
Okay.
Thanks, Ken.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good day.
You're welcome, Dad. Thanks, Mama.
Okay, guys.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
Okay.
What time you want me there?
Did you give my baby a kiss? Is she hanging up?
Yeah, I didn't hang up yet.
Okay.
What
There.
time?
Speak. Wait a minute.